Hello and how are you today? It is a fabulous day here in the Let's Make Food from Food kitchen, and today I'm making buttermilk English muffins. They're going to be amazing, of course. One of my most popular, highest performing videos is my sourdough English muffins, and I'm going to put a link to that down below if you want to check that one out. It's completely different process than this in the way that you let it rise a lot longer with the sourdough starter in there, but it gives it such a beautiful flavor in a different way than the buttermilk does. They're both good, but have options, right? Okay, so I have 7 ingredients total. So we're gonna start with our dry ingredients. 4 1/4 cup unbleached flour. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar, which will help feed our yeast of 2 teaspoons. And then I have 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. Okay, we're gonna put that all in there and get it mixed. And then I will pour it into my bowl here. And I actually need to switch out my top for the dough hook. And if you don't have a stand mixer, that's okay. You can knead it by hand. It just, builds a little muscle. Okay, so the dry stuff is ready to put into my bowl. So I am going to switch this out real quick and I'll be right back. Did you guys see how fast that was? Okay, so I have 1 3/4 cup of buttermilk and 4 tablespoons of butter. This is already heated to about 110, 115, and when you do that, it'll curdle a little bit, and that's totally fine. It's okay. That's gonna happen. So we're gonna pour that in there along with our butter. Okay. And then we're gonna put this on to our mixer, lock it down, and then we're gonna start to mix it all together. I'm gonna watch it and scrape down the sides, and once I have kind of a cohesive dough ball, I'm going to let it ride for 5 minutes on my mixer. Now, if you don't have the stand mixer, if we've talked about, hand knead it, okay? And if you're consistently kneading it, go ahead and just do it for the 5 minutes. And if you need to take a little break, just time it. So you really want to get that dough working, okay? So after that 5 minutes up, we're gonna put it in a bowl and cover it. Okay, it is beat to death, basically. Okay, that's nice, soft, and supple. Okay, and I am going to just get it all into my bowl right here. Get it off of my hook. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna cover it with this plastic wrap, and we're gonna let it rise for 1 to 2 hours, and that is going to depend on how warm it is in your home. So the warmer it is, the faster it'll rise. So keep an eye on it. What you're looking for is double. You want this to double in size, and then we're ready for the next step. Go ahead and get out coarse grind cornmeal and a big griddle. This dough has done a beautiful job of rising. Look at that, you can already see bubbles developing. It's happy. So next, I need to take some cornmeal and generously dust a baking sheet. And no, we're not baking it, but this is where we're gonna let them rest after we shape them. So I'm going to just generously dust them. And because this is a double batch, this will make 16. I got 2 baking sheets to be prepared. I don't think they're all gonna fit on one. Now, if you're using a standard size, these are half size. If you're using a standard size, I'm sure that would fit just fine. So don't get rid of this. We're just gonna set it aside because we'll need it for the tops. What I wanna do is just take my beautiful, oh, look at those air bubbles. Nice, that's gonna be fabulous. Okay, so the next thing is to just press this flat about 1 inch thick, okay? And we're gonna try and get something that resembles a rectangular shape that is relatively even. Okay, that way we can divide it as evenly as possible. Okay, So the first thing I'm going to do is about halfway down, and if you really wanted to, this bench knife right here has measurements, so you could measure it if you really wanted to get technical. Okay, I'm just going to move this back a little bit so I have a little space. Okay, so that means I need 8 inches here. 4. So just a little over an inch wide. So what I want to do here, that's an inch. And we're going to make our 16 pieces like this. Okay, see, there is an inch. Okay, I'm gonna end up with 15 because this would have been so much smaller that I didn't want to divide it up that much. So I am gonna take a little bit of it though and make this one a little bigger. What I'm gonna do now is get them into kind of a ball shape and then flatten them out, okay? And I'm just gonna try and get something that resembles round, okay? And these are not going to be perfect because these are not done by a machine. I mean, I am kind of a machine, but not, you know, never mind. Okay, so you're gonna repeat that process with each one of these. Just get them into a ball and then flatten them out. Try to get them slightly even, and then we'll sprinkle the top. Okay, so I got 14. I can count sometimes. All right, last thing we wanna do before we cover these up is put a generous amount more of the cornmeal on here, and that keeps them from sticking without using any grease, oil, sprays, whatever. So that is gonna go on there. We're gonna cover these with a towel, which will not stick because we're using cornmeal. And we're gonna let it rest from all that manipulation we've done to it for 20 minutes. We're gonna get out our griddle and then we'll get cooking. Okay, I have my griddle is on, you wanna do medium to medium low. I've got this on 250. So I'm gonna carefully lift these up. You wanna be very careful not to smash these down. You've just created all of those beautiful bubbles and you don't wanna smash them down. So just gently and carefully lift them up and place them on your griddle. Okay, and then give them couple of inches of space in between to puff up. Just trying to get these. And you notice I did not spray this with anything. You can, if you don't have a non-stick surface, then you could, but it's gonna change your muffins some. So 6 to 8 minutes. Keep an eye on the bottom of them. You don't want them to burn, but you do want them to get a nice golden brown color. Then you're going to carefully flip each one over, again 6 to 8 minutes, and then we'll let them cool some. So I'm gonna set a timer so I don't forget, and just keep an eye on the bottoms of them. Okay, it's time to check for flip, and I'm gonna start here where the first one went down. Yes, that looks very good. You can see a little bit of browning happening there. So what you want to do is very carefully lift them. Try really hard not to smash them or squish them as you flip them so that you don't ruin all those beautiful bubbles. That's where you get your nooks and crannies. So just don't smash them. Okay, so I'm going to flip all of these and then reset my timer for 6 minutes. I'm going to check them at 6 minutes. If they need to go to 8, then I'll let them go to 8. Once that's done, I'm going to transfer them over, let them cool for a little bit, and then we'll crack one open. Okay, these muffins are looking beautiful. They smell beautiful. I'm going to move them over to my plate here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop one open and show you how they came out on the inside. Okay, I'm just trying to play Muffin Jenga over here. Okay, now, fork, not a knife. If you use a knife, it'll smash your bubbles, your nooks and crannies, okay? So you're just gonna take a fork and go all the way around, like so, and it'll start to split open. Look at that. Then, I'm going to take my butter, which is softened, and spread it on there just a little bit. Not as many nooks and crannies as I was hoping for, but still some nooks and crannies. Look at that, it looks delicious. I'm gonna set it over here with all of these. All right, now I've made them look pretty, and that means it's time to destroy one. I'm not eating bread right now, but I'm eating bread right now. This is so good. Light, fluffy, delicious. Toast this with some honey and butter. However, I have something else in mind to make. Coming up in the next couple of videos, check out what I'm making with these delicious buttermilk English muffins. Thanks for joining me here today in the Let's Make Food from Food kitchen. From my kitchen to yours, let's make food from food.
That's one boy.